So, hello everybody. I'm Gabe,
I'm Jeremy.
and we just watched Eli Roth's Cabin Fever, the original, not the remake, even though they're basically the same movie.
Basically the same movie.
Yeah, shot with the same script.
Yes. Um, this movie being made for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I watched this movie. It was like, what, 92 minutes long? And it took me 3 hours to finish it.
Yeah, getting through this one it's not easy. It's a little difficult
Yeah.
if you're not, I guess, if you don't have a tolerance for Eli Roth's kind of eccentricities, let's say,
Yeah.
I don't know, or his style.
So the name Eli Roth is pretty familiar because he's in a Quentin Tarantino movie. He plays
Yes, the
what's
Bear
what
Jew.
the Bear Jew. That's right, the Bear
Yeah.
Jew, and the Inglorious Bastards. And so I was like, okay, cool. He wants to get. He has a director credit from 2002. Great. Because I didn't really know much of Eli Roth that much.
Mhm.
What other movies has he been in?
Well, so his directing career has been successful. He made this, which was a hit. Then Hostel, I think he made a sequel to Hostel. He also, so in Glorious Bastards, the movie within the movie, The Nation's Pride, he directed that.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever you're watching the movie, in the movie, he directed that. It's probably his best
Oh
movie,
yeah,
by the
yeah. The
way.
movie, the yeah, when they're
Yeah.
watching the. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's his
That's
best
cool.
movie. No joke.
It's his best. It's his best movie.
Yeah.
Uh, the only
So
way he can make a good movie is within a movie.
within a great movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
But
that's funny.
so I was very familiar with Eli Roth as a person before I ever watched his movies. Like I would see him in
Person.
interviews. Yeah,
Okay.
just because he's a very big figure in the horror community,
Mm,
and I mean he's friends with a lot of powerful people. I mean Quentin Tarantino has produced a lot of his movies and
yeah.
cast him in his own, so he has a very big stature. But the first movie I saw of his was his remake of Death Wish. Did you see that with Bruce
I've
Willis?
heard of that. Oh, I heard that was terrible.
Not good.
I heard that was just awful.
Not good. Less good than
Yeah.
the movie we watched.
Sometimes I watch movie reviews of movies that I haven't seen in the Cosmonaut Variety Hour. I mentioned that guy a lot on this channel. And he reviewed Death Wish and he said it was awful.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And
And that's all I need to hear.
it was awful in a way that is, with Eli Roth, right? I don't think he's a very good he doesn't make very good movies, but he has a style and I think that's respectable. But even in Death Wish, it was a totally generic movie. Anybody could
Uh-huh.
have made that,
Huh.
which is it's not something you can say for a Cabin
How
Fever.
did he get Bruce Willis to be in that movie?
Uh,
Money?
because Bruce Willis has such high standards these days. Because he
I
just
guess he's just a grandpa. He really just doesn't care what movie he's in anymore.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was supposed to. It was like a big movie, big budget, big
Big
studio.
budget.
Yeah, it was going to be Eli Roth's kind of major studio debut because
Mhm.
he'd done more independent movies before.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah,
has.
but
Yes, he has.
let's let's rewind. Let's go back to 2002. Cabin Fever
2002. We're going
is
back in time, guys. We're
yeah.
going back in time 18 years in the past. 2002. So this movie doesn't really matter who stars in it. All the actors don't really matter. Um, Maybe the main one. I don't know.
Well, the main
The main
character is
guy. The main
played
guy
by
who's a simp.
yeah. Whoa, okay, okay.
Fucking simp to this. Ugh. This blonde chick. Oh my god.
In an Eli Roth movie, you're either a simp or a Chad.
Yes. Oh, you're either a simp, a Chad, or a germaphobe guy who's like super edgy and like, very modern looking.
Yeah.
I can't find the name. What's the name for a guy like that?
Uh, uh, simp plus Chad, a sad.
A sad. There we go.
Sad.
Sad.
Yes.
You're either
But
a simp, a Chad, or a sad in an Eli Roth movie if you're a male. For a female, you are either a Karen, because there's somebody named Karen in this movie, and she does act like a Karen. Definitely does.
How can I mean if your name is Karen, that's your destiny. If your name was Chad, you'd act like a Chad.
Oh yeah, well his name's not Chad. His name is what? Tyler or something.
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
remember
remember.
the names of
He,
characters.
dude, that guy. I see some potential, or when watching the movie, I saw some potential in his acting. Only when he wasn't screaming his nuts off. Okay, he was like mad and just yelling in almost every single movie. Well, not every single scene in the movie, like yelling "fuck, shit, fucking fuck, fuck."
Yeah.
Like it's just
But you know
calm down,
that's
man.
Eli Roth's fault, right? Like
It's just
clearly that's his directing style. Because I don't think the actors are bad. Like,
they're. I don't know.
I mean, I think you can tell that they could have been good with a better script and a better
That's
director.
true, but I feel like it's possible to do a decent job with a terrible script in a movie as an actor. I think it's possible. Uh,
For the most part, I can't imagine like a better performance out of this material. Like, I mean, maybe if you got like an A-list high caliber actor, but then that'd be weird because you'd be seeing
yeah,
Laurence Olivier play a Chad.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think Eli Roth is the best person, like character in this movie. I really do think he
yeah.
does. Is
I actually
he
really
just
enjoyed
comes out
him.
of nowhere,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey kids!" Well, they're like, there's a scene of these the kids, the main characters at a campfire, just hanging out whatever. And this guy just appears out of nowhere from the woods. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And they're like, sort of like, "Okay, hey dude, what's up?" And you can tell that they're like not really feeling his vibe.
until
And
he offers them weed.
until he offers them weed. And they're like, "Oh fuck yeah, let's go smoke some weed. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, you come sit right here. Come sit right here next to me on the log. Come sit right here." I'm like,
He does have my favorite line of the movie
"What's his favorite line? What's your favorite line?"
when he's like, "Me, my dog, Dr. Momo," and they're like, "Oh, is he a doctor of
Is he a
psychology?"
doctor? It's like,
Yeah, and then no, but then he says, "Yeah, he's a doctor of being a dog." Thing
"Oh,
is, ooh,
stupid."
faced, which is
Oh
that's
my
so
god.
lame. I use that sometimes in my regular life.
Uh, I think all my favorite characters in this movie are not even the main ones. I think that my second favorite is the cop who like
Party cop.
who the party cop. Party time, all party time. It's party time. Just come in and party. Like, come on, party. It's like, dude, you. uh, I I don't know what he was trying to do with his character, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was
Yeah, I
funny.
think you can see why Tarantino liked it, right? They have some overlap in their writing.
Tarantino liked this movie.
Well, yeah. Okay, so let's just start from the premise of this movie. It's very simple. Five kids, teens, go to a cabin that becomes infested with this skin-eating disease,
Okay.
and things spiral out of control from there. Now,
Yes.
you can approach this premise in a million different ways, but Roth chooses to approach it like an exploitation movie, like a slasher movie, almost. I guess
Yeah.
same stereotypes, tone, um, and I think that it's uneven at best. There are things I like about the
Very
movie.
disjointed. The
Yeah,
editing is piss poor. It's awful. Editing. I don't know what. I don't know. Like they just have random scene transitions
it,
in the
it was
movie.
um, it was his debut, and it could have been worse. He could have
Okay.
directed it worse.
I don't think you could direct a worse movie than this.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. If you took out the special effects, if you took out the cinema, I mean, the cinematography is not that bad. It's actually it's not bad. It's all right. I like
Mhm.
the shots of all the woods and the Chad guy, with his BB gun out in the woods, just kind of like searching for squirrels. I mean, the shots aren't that bad. Um, as well as the blood and gore is pretty darn good. But if you
Right.
took those out, this movie would be just it would be just borderline watchable.
So, but you're saying it is watchable.
It's if I skipped the parts where they all like start dying, then yeah, I would start enjoying myself because I don't care at all about these characters.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's, I mean, he's not really trying to make you care. except for some kind of awkward scenes where the Boy Meets World guy is like, "Hey, we've been friends for a while, and I really like
God.
you."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That. Oh my God.
So I've seen this movie before, but the very first time I tried to watch it, I only made it up to the pancakes kid, the kid who bites
Oh
his
yeah. What
hand.
the fuck was wrong with what was that?
I don't.
What
There's a
was
lot of random shit in
random
this movie.
shit? Okay, like I understand, yeah, sometimes Santa Claus can be racist, but the kid on the bench that just bites people, strangers, and yells out pancakes is like, what? Like what sort of thought was put into that? Like this would be good. Like whenever I watch a
Think
movie and it's really bad and I don't like it, I always try to like think, what if I was the director and like my decisions into making the movie the way it's made, and be like, okay, all right, son, I want you to sit in the bench and just yell pancakes, and whenever like the actors come towards you, just go bite their hand, just bite them, okay?
yeah.
And
Every character in this movie can be summed up with a word. That kid is pancakes. The cop is party.
party cop, I love
Party
it.
cop. Yeah. The guy with the BB gun, he's gay because that's the word he likes to use the most.
Oh, he's gay.
No, but that's just. I mean, he's
You you
always
you
calling
you
things
you, you
gay.
remote the thing gay to him because he calls things gay. Okay.
I'm just saying you can like every character has a word that they overuse that like defines them. Like this guy uses gay as an insult. That's
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
his character. So that's what I meant.
Mhm.
But it's it's not about the characters, obviously. It's not really about the
It's sort
characters.
of entertaining. Um, Again, I would skip
Yeah.
towards the part where Karen gets her period.
That was actually there are some actually I don't want to say scary parts, but effective parts. Made me cringe in a good
It
way.
wasn't scary. It was pretty. I cringed whenever the other girl was shaving her legs. I
Why
cringed.
is she doing that? Why
She
was she
kept doing
shaving?
it. Like she knows that she's got some like infection all over her legs, and she continues to shave, and that just I couldn't look at the camera or the movie. I couldn't look at it. I could
Yeah.
not. I was like, this is fucking gross.
Yeah.
As a smart person, if I had infection, I would not do that. I would put some clothes on and try to find a doctor.
Yeah. Needless to say, the characters are not smart,
Not smart at all.
which is
Not
like,
smart.
I mean, we're used to that in horror movies,
Except
but
Jeff.
why does he come back to the cat? Okay,
That
we're
that
getting
that
into
so
spoilers
I
now.
enjoyed Jeff's character in the fact that he would be really good during a pandemic. He would know what to do, as he would just be hiding um, during an ongoing pandemic. As a person, I don't really care for him, but his actions I support because of what's going on right now. But then he just wastes it completely when he goes back to the cabin. He's like, "I did it! I made it!
That
I
was
made it!"
not. That was cringe.
I'm like, you're gonna get shot, dude. And he gets shot. I totally saw the three old cops just coming in and just shooting the crap out of him. Okay,
Right.
I totally saw it. Nothing.
Yeah. Again, not about characters. Not about characters. I think this is all just about the special effects and the violence. Now, with Eli Roth, it's interesting because he is effective at shock value, but he's not good at violence. Like all the fights, like the way the action is choreographed, it's very rough.
Yeah, yeah, it
Like
is.
the
It's very shaky cam. Like, I can't really see what's going on, and then it
yeah,
just transitions into a different scene just out of randomness.
yeah, awkward cuts.
Yeah.
And I think this is something he would get better at. Like I've seen Hostel, and Hostel is better at this. So it's not something that like it's not terrible. It's just something that stuck out to me as like, oh, this is his first
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I would say, have you seen Hostel? You probably haven't,
No,
right?
I have not.
If
Is
you
it
don't
better than
like this,
this
don't
one?
see it. No. Well, it's better made, but it's also more mean spirited. So I wouldn't.
Oh, so like what? More f bombs and words?
No,
By
just
f
like
bombs, I
torture
mean.
porn. Honestly.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Eli Roth is like he's one of the big boys of the torture porn craze.
What kind of fetish does he have? I'm
I
just
don't know.
curious.
I have no idea. I don't look into his fetishes.
Like as soon as the people get into the cabin, the Jeff and the other girl, they just immediately go at it and start fucking.
That was one of the more awkward sex scenes I've
Yeah.
seen.
I was
Yeah.
like, did we just start? Did we just switch to Pornhub or something? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what webpage I'm on. You know, like, oh,
It,
so weird, so weird.
yeah, I mean, needless to say, his movies, the way they treat women.
It's very mean spirited towards women, towards ethnicities, towards just all sorts of minorities, all sorts of the
Hmm.
minority of people. This
Yeah,
movie
the
would not get
green.
made. I was surprised. It was like so. I thought I was watching a 2016 remake, and when I kept hearing all these like expletives and things towards like minorities, I was like, "Am I watching this movie at the correct time? Like, were they allowed to make this movie during this time?" And then
No,
when I realized it was
I
2002, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it was 2002. Okay, you could say that in movies anytime you want."
yeah, this movie is. I haven't seen the remake, so I don't know if they use things like the expletives. I doubt it because from what I hear, it's pretty
They probably
sanitized.
didn't
Yeah,
use them.
I
They probably
wouldn't be surprised.
changed it up a bit to try to, you know, be attuned with the times.
Yeah. But it is interesting because this movie has a lot of fans. And I mean like serious, legitimate people
Show me one
in the
fan
industry.
that you know.
No, like okay, so not only Quentin Tarantino, right? You know who else likes this movie? A lot? Peter Jackson.
Lord of the Rings director, and Hobbit.
Yes, the guy who made Lord of the Rings.
He made 3 masterpieces, and he likes this piece of shit.
He liked this movie so much he would screen it for his cast and crew when it came out. So she liked it. Now you have to understand, Peter Jackson comes from the world of exploitation movies, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't know. I just can't get over bad acting and a bad script. I just can't. I really can't. And
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get
bad
over
plot
that stuff,
direction and editing. The editing, plot, action scenes, acting, and script have to be top notch for me to enjoy a movie. And if you're just gonna focus on like small little factors like the gore and the cinematography, I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's a small factor for this kind of movie. It's more like that's what the movie's built around. I think if Eli Roth was trying to make a movie with good acting and like that was like the thing he was building the movie off of, that would be a problem. I mean, I've seen. I mean, I just most of the
So,
movies on my wall over there do not have the greatest acting, and
oh
that's fine with me.
like okay, you don't have to have the greatest acting, but you can have a good plot. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have if you just have everything that a movie is pretty much living off of, everything of that is bad, like what I just listed earlier, then I consider it unwatchable. But if you have one or two of those things I listed as good and the rest are like put piss poor, like one's really bad, I'll watch it. I mean, I've seen all the Final Destination movies, and I think they're watchable. I think
Hmm.
some of them are actually pretty good.
I have not seen those yet.
We should talk about them in a different podcast.
There's
We
like
should. You haven't seen
six,
a single
right?
one?
No, no.
Oh, it's good. It's good. The first one's pretty good. The second one's all right. But yeah, watch them. We'll talk about it. And I have a story when I was a little
Okay.
kid, and I watched all four of them before the fifth one came out, and I wasn't myself. It's not good for a 13-year-old boy to watch all those movies in succession. But
Are they like violent?
it's basically kind of the same formula with people dying subsequently. Like one person dies, the next person dies. It's like death being the antagonist,
Yeah.
and it's choosing when a person dies based on their actions and based on like where they're at, like a setting. It first starts with like usually a group of people and they're going to some place, and then a disaster happens where say they're on a bus and it crashes, or the bridge collapses, or they're on a plane and the plane crashes, and like one of the 5 people or 6 people has a premonition that it'll happen, and so before it happens, and so like he witnesses it happening, and then he goes back to the time before it happens, and then he tries to get everyone off the moving object or wherever they're at to prevent this thing from happening. And he thinks he like cheated death per se, but then death is goes around and is like, oh, you think you cheated me? Well, I will kill you, all your friends, including yourself, one by one, and let's see if you can cheat those deaths. Yeah, it's that's pretty much my dry, like, rough explanation. The movie explains it for you. Like, there's a lot of expository dialogue for the first movie because it starts off the whole franchise thing going on. So they're not bad. The 5 movies, they're not terrible. Some are pretty good, but they all sort of have a cult following, so to speak.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Very, very popular. We can talk about those in different podcasts, but this movie in particular, Cabin Fever, I think I can put it in the category of so bad it's watchable. I wouldn't say it's so bad it's good, because I don't know. I just can't. I can't put it there.
Like, it's not. I guess there are a few moments I would call laughably bad. The movie as a whole, I would call uneven. I would say it's a know your audience type of thing. Like, know who you are going into the movie. For me, it was watchable, and I can say I mostly enjoyed it.
I might enjoy it more if I was really, really drunk. I'd probably watch this movie while drunk.
Yeah, I'm sure Eli Roth would encourage you to watch this movie drunk, high.
I think he knows what it is, what the movie is. So I think the movie has a sense of
self-awareness,
knowing identity and what it is. But that would typically put it in the so bad it's good category, but I don't know. They try so hard to make it not take itself seriously. There's like a balance. So if a movie doesn't take itself seriously and it knows it's bad, it thrives on that. But when another movie does the same thing, but it like just goes hard on the nose, saying, "Yeah, we're such a bad movie. We're a terrible movie. Like, we're so bad, but we're so bad. We're actually not that. But we're pretty good. That's why we're so bad." And it sort of made me think the movie was trying too hard to be bad. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's like
way too hard to be bad.
I would describe Sharknado that way, or something like that.
I have not seen Sharknado. So
I will never see Sharknado because it's like, oh, you want to be a bad movie, and that takes away all of the charm.
Yeah. You have to understand that you're a bad movie, but you can't just overdo it. And I feel like that's what this movie does a little too much.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I really wouldn't describe it as like so bad it's this or that, because I don't think it's like just a terrible movie. I think it's dated. I think it's very dated. Yeah, I mean, hella dated. Like, I mean, if the slurs and the excessive like swearing, even just using the word gay as an insult, I mean, that that's in abundance here. So if that bothers you, just don't watch it. So that's the word I was looking for, juvenile. This movie has a very juvenile kind of sensibility.
I agree.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm making it sound like that ruins the movie. It's really more just like knowing how much you can tolerate, if that makes sense. Like, some people can, some people can't, and I totally respect if this movie is just too stupid for you.
Oh God.
Yeah, I totally respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, this is like my favorite of his movies that I've seen.
Hey man, more power to you if you like this movie.
I mean, that's kind of more a statement about his other movies.
Yeah. So if you're saying that this is a favorite out of all his movies, then Hostile is worse, and I shouldn't go watch Hostile.
Unless you wanted to do a podcast about it.
That movie's if we can do that, then let's do that.
Honestly, like, Hostel is pretty well made. Like, it's not awkward or weirdly done. I guess writing
is the editing better.
Editing is better. Like, the technical aspects, like, he evolved as a director. It's
good.
just it's a very cynical, dark, kind of mean-spirited story. Um, and the characters are honestly even worse
Mhm.
in terms of like the juvenile aspects, like the homophobic slurs and all that stuff. Oh, and it's incredibly misogynistic.
So is there a reason why Eli Roth isn't canceled? I guess.
Well, that he's working in horror movies, like that's a field that is kind has a force field around it in terms of like all of that social stuff, right? I can't
What's
think of a
your
yeah
What's your favorite cabin movie?
a cabin movie.
Yeah, where like it's the same
Uh,
trope where like five kids go to a cabin and then they unleash a sort of virus or
or
monster or
curse.
curse or whatever.
Evil Dead 2.
People do that too.
Yeah, yeah. I hate to
Um,
call it just like a cabin movie. I think it's more than
I'm
that,
just gonna
but
say cabin movie.
yeah,
Like I put like
I
kids
get what you
into a
mean.
cabin and then they go through some shit and then either they come out of it or they don't, and that's what I call a cabin movie.
Sure. I mean, I guess the Friday the 13th movies are cabin movies.
Yeah, yeah,
They're cabins, and I
yeah,
like those.
yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is it's the best movie, like the most good movie.
I gotta see the because I've only seen the remake of Evil Dead, which I enjoyed in that movie quite a bit.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good, especially with all the gore and stuff. Like that's if you like gore, then that's a goregasm
Mhm.
of a movie.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like I don't like gore in and of itself. I like gore as a feature of a movie, you know, like if it's put in the right place, in
Mm-hmm.
the right context. Um, I mean, the special effects, you can just admire them. I admire them with this movie. I'm very like the shot of the rotting corpse in the reservoir.
Yeah,
I mean, that was very well done. But yeah,
you know what my favorite is
what?
Cabin in the Woods.
That's not a real choice.
Why?
You cheated because that's
Hold on. What's up? What? Hello? Yeah. I'm busy.
I mean, it's a comedy. It's a parody of those tropes.
But I think it's so great. I think it's such
Yeah,
a
it's
good.
great. I mean,
I,
it's like
it subverted my expectations in such a satisfying way. I don't know. I just
all right. I mean,
it gives you
sure.
like the first 20 minutes. It's like, oh, you know where it's gonna go, and then when in the middle of the movie, it just subverts it, and you're like, oh shit, because like they keep jumping back to the scene with Richard Jenkins and that other guy. So,
Bradley
but
Whitford.
yeah, I'm just like, ah, why do you keep switching over and like, oh, they're creating the demons within this thing and the
Is Get
kids
Out a Cabin in the Woods movie?
get out. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say no. I don't know what to call it. I enjoy the movie quite a bit. I like Get Out quite a lot.
Yeah. It is in the woods, and the house, though very nice, could be described as a cabin. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but it focuses more on a white family and dealing with a black man dating their daughter type of movie. And then it turns out they're all racist and they all have like black servants and stuff. So
Well, it also turns out that they're trying to brainwash him and give his
exactly,
body
and then
to.
brainwash. So it's not
Yeah.
really more of a cabin movie per se. It's more of a psychological thriller.
Yeah, sure. Set
Yeah.
in a cabin in the woods. But
But the
I see
cabin is
difference.
not the core factor.
No, I mean the cabin isn't the factor in Cabin Fever. It's where they are.
You can have a movie about uh, anything and then slap a cabin in there. It wouldn't be a cabin movie. A cabin has to be a certain type of movie.
It has to be a certain type of movie.
College kids go out on vacation. They go into the woods where there's no Wi-Fi, no cellular
They're
data, no
isolated. Yes.
isolation, and they can't leave for some reason because their truck won't start, or the road is like closed right when they arrive, or they maybe went to the wrong cabin or whatever, and they can't leave. It's an isolation film, and shit happens. Like
Yeah.
shit
I guess
ensues.
it's not about isolation and Get Out because, there are the villain. Usually a Cabin in the Woods movie doesn't have an antagonist, not like
Yeah,
just one villain. So
yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Would we recommend this movie to people who haven't seen it?
Oh, it depends entirely on who you are. If you like the Saw movies, if you like um those kind of early mid 2000s horror movies, this is I would recommend it.
If you can deal with really awful scripts and cringy scenes, but a satisfying like plot device of a virus going around and them getting sick, like the parts where they get sick and sort of just die slowly. That's where I consider the good parts of the movie. Then yeah, it's watchable.
Mhm.
I forgot to add, like, the whole virus part of this of the movie. I enjoyed quite a bit. I like
Meaning
the
like
whole the disease when they catch it and stuff, and like how it spread and stuff. Like they're just throwing
no,
out blood, and like
that was well done.
they start to like just their skin starts to just get irritated and just bloody. Like I like that shit. That was cool.
Yeah, this
If
is
you enjoy that and watch,
Mhm.
go ahead, give it a
I
watch.
I have seen this movie described as torture porn, and I would not agree. This is like body
Oh,
horror.
this is like body horror. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
This
for
is for
sure.
people who enjoy limbs getting chopped off and people screaming with hardly any skin on them.
Right. And it's effective. Like, I mean, all of it makes you. Let's just say this: the movie has a lot of cringe. Some good, some
Good
bad
cringe. Oh,
cringe. Like
the doctor, the doctor part. Uh,
like the doctor part. I mean, it will either it'll make you cringe in a good or a bad reason. You know what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Uh,
so just be warned. Know who you are.
know who you are. If you don't
Yeah.
typically enjoy movies that have these kinds of things, then steer clear of this. But if you just love body horror, as Gabe said, yeah, give it a watch.
Sure. Why
I
not?
wouldn't be watching this again unless I was heavily drinking. But yeah,
Don't check
give it
out
a
the
watch.
sequels, though. I have to say this. Don't check out the sequels. Even if you like this one, don't check it out. The second one is so bad that Eli Roth has disavowed it. I don't even think he made
Wait,
it.
it was Cabin Fever 2?
There's Cabin Fever 2, Cabin Fever 3, and then the remake, which under no circumstances should you watch, unless it's like morbid curiosity.
I'll maybe watch 20 minutes of it to see if there's any similarities with the original one. Just 20 minutes. I have a
I
curiosity
watched
towards it.
I watched the scene with the fireplace with Dr. Mambo because that was my favorite scene in the original. So I want to
Mhm.
see how does it compare, and it's gutted. It's totally lame.
Really?
He doesn't even say scratch moded. He doesn't even say that.
Damn.
Gutted. I know. That was the soul of Cabin Fever.
Dr. Mambo.
Dr. Mambo. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in with us.
Hope
I
you
said,
enjoyed.
like we said, if you enjoyed us critiquing this movie and discussing it, give it a watch yourself if you're curious about this. I hope that we get more likes in our last video.
I'm not. I doubt.
Oh boy.
I doubt Cabin Fever is as popular as Return of the Jedi. So we should be safe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But
Yeah.
let us know your thoughts about Cabin Fever in the comments, about Eli Roth, just anything we talked about in this video. And if you have a movie that you would like to see us discuss, let us know.
Yes, let us know.
Absolutely.
And as always, I'm Jeremy.
And most of the time, I'm Gabe.
And this is Cinnamon signing out. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.